Hello, Bl'Art here, with One with the Most Powerful, the Act 3, Chapter 9, Part 2 Shinryu fight. We're bringing a team of Krile, Galuf, and Machina. Before we get too deep into it, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, ring that notification bell. That's a lot of things to put on a person. You know, start with the like button, see how that feels, go from there. How about that? Let's start it with that. So, we are once again fighting Junction Griever and, the little Irvine buddy. Have a slightly different team than last time. I mean, we still have that off-turn damage, that good off-turn damage, but definitely a different configuration. Because our FR of choice here is Krile. And I wasn't really sure this was going to work. I kind of figured Krile, pretty dated, one of the second ever FR unit. We all know that those pre-Camelot FR units are kind of garbage, right? I don't know. I'm still seeing Kane putting up good numbers places, and I don't know. I think Krile is fight-specific, I'm finding. Her damage is definitely lower than most FRs, but if you can get the right fight and the right team and the right setup, it can be pretty rewarding, as you're going to see here. So, we are, of course, as kind of is the pattern for this fight, our plan is to try to kind of burst Griever down past 80% so that we could use the delay call and then, mess around with force time and stuff like that. Machina is doing his kind of... It's really funny, running Machina as an off-turn unit. He, if you don't jump right into the burst, as I'm doing right now, he has this kind of rotation where he goes, he does skill 1, EX, Furious Blades Plus, rinse, repeat. It actually feels a lot better with the C980 than it used to, but man, it's still like, he could be just hitting his burst, his HP attack burst move. You'll see here, you can actually, I didn't realize this, you can push Griever below the 80% threshold in burst or summon, and it won't gain that HP reduction until afterwards, which is really nice. That's actually very convenient. Would have sucked to, lose that damage just because I pushed it below the threshold. Anyway. But yeah, with Machina, I probably could have pressed burst sooner, but I wanted to make sure I wasn't running. I figured it was better to have a rougher start and not run out of gas at the end, as opposed to running out of gas at the end, because that would just suck. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to guarantee we have a nice comfy end game at the expense of a slightly more hectic early game. But as you can see, we still easily made the 80% threshold before the enemy FR time charged up. We were able to use Cypher Call to delay. And now we're just getting ready for the big show. By that, what I mean is the enemy force time is just triggered, and this is perfect because it's Krile's turn. That's exactly what we wanted. Because Krile actually really takes advantage of the enemy force time here, because as you know, during the enemy force time, our turns are deleted when we're hit. Somewhat ironically, Galuf being an evasion unit means he probably won't get hit for the most part, and he won't get deleted, so he'll be kind of Galuf soloing for a while. But this means lots and lots of off-turn damage. As I've mentioned before with Galuf, he's able to double dip in a lot of cases. Machina also is capable of double dipping, as you can see here. This is actually just a great situation because Galuf attacks Irvine twice, and then Machina attacks Irvine twice. And so that's 20% for, or give or take, for just like the enemy taking a turn. That's some good stuff. I mean, Reno. Yeah. One kind of I guess frustrating isn't really the word for it, but one disappointing thing about how this shook out is normally with Krile, I like her to get one turn of in force time to use her skill 1 once or twice just to get that number really high. As you can see here, the turn deletes basically made that impossible. Not a bad price to pay. I think it was worth it. But it would have been really nice if that, that 200 was like a 300 right now because she was able to, toss a ray of hope in there. Still, 7 turns to go. We just chunked about a quarter of the first phase's health. That's pretty decent. Hopefully in the second phase we can line up a better force time than this. Not that this isn't a bad one. This is a bad force time or anything. And of course, we have Machina waiting in the wings to dole out those ridiculous HP pluses of his. Let me go ahead and use a cleansing here. That's another bit of off-turn damage for you. Again, if you're planning on using Krile somewhere, you obviously want to if you're using her with counter tanks, you want to try to avoid pressing her LD unless either you need to refresh the buff, like the first one I used, or it's at the very end of her force time where they're probably only going to get one turn before the force time ends. One more turn, I should say, in order to get that extra bit of off-turn damage. It's also one of her hardest hitting skills, so there you go. Fortunately, that's annoying. It looks like when Griever cleansed, it got rid of the Judgment proc, so that would have been a nice thing to have happen there, but it's okay. Alright, we are now in the second phase of the fight. This is a bit scary, because, Gallop doesn't care at all about the Rend attack that this thing does. This version of Griever has a very scary single target attack, Rend, which just, like, chews through dudes. In replaying the stage with different teams, I legit don't know how my first team managed to avoid that move killing someone. Because I definitely tried using Paladin Cecil in another team, and it just one shot. Sorry, Terra. But anyway, Gallop ignores that. The scary part for us is going to be Meteor, which is an all attack. Not this all attack, another all attack. You'll see I used the Warrior of Light call on Machina because I was afraid that that Meteor was coming out. I think Meteor actually only happens... I think it only gets queued up after the 80% mark here. I'm realizing, because it doesn't show up again after this next boss turn where it uses Meteor. Thank you, Warrior of Light, keeping us safe, but I kept thinking, okay, there's gonna be another Meteor, and I knew from experience that if I wasn't careful, Krile, with her like 16,000 health, could just get blown the heck up, even with Gallop, having cover on her. Woof. Here we go, and so it is time once again. We are just actually perfect timing there. We use Krile's AA, and then we're actually just gonna refresh Ray of Hope real quick before hopping into Krile's second FR. The enemy have their FR ready. We're gonna be getting a whole lot of deletions our way. Kind of annoying actually, but the Irvine Mannequin is going to eat one of the enemy force times with his like reload or instant turn rate thing. And that's like, man, that's free damage I could have been dishing out if you had continued like, deleting people's turns and pushing them back and stuff. So Irvine there, not being a team player for me, helping the enemy out. It's like he's on their team or something. I don't get it. But anyway, you can see here once again, Krile's been deleted to the Shadow Realm because that's how the AoE attacks in this fight work. Which is a shame, just because the HP damage bonus isn't going to be as high as it could be, but we'll do the best we can. We're of course enjoying having the Irvine Mannequin take the occasional turns so that Machina can deal that splash from his trap spinny thing. But beyond that, most of our damage is coming from when Griever takes turns and we hit it with like 4 counters. Oh, fun little thing. Rend is now a physical attack, so well in the first phase it was all magic attacks and Gallop only got 1 counter off. Now Gallop's getting 2 counters off, so that right there is that's a comfy amount of comfy amount of counter damage. Once again, going to see how high we can get this number, just kind of inching it up there, one proc at a time. Definitely different than like a Camlanod or like a Terra or a Charlotta, where every turn you expect like a chunky amount to go up. But it's also gonna last. This FR is gonna like last for like most of the video. It feels like. I actually, full disclosure, this did take a long time. I think it took 35 minutes, just shy of 35 minutes. I think it was like 34 or something. For your viewing pleasure, I've sped it up triple speed because who has time for that? If you really are having trouble keeping up with the action, you're trying to figure out what I'm doing, you can slow the playback speed or something. I talk pretty fast anyway, so maybe you're already doing that. I don't know. Because here, this is kind of annoying. Not the greatest, but we'll take it. We're missing out on some counter damage here because we pushed him below the 30%, which is actually good because I didn't think we were going to make the 30%, so this is better than I was expecting. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and pop Brother Summon now, so we can take advantage of that last turn of FR damage to hit with the Krile EX. One last little bit of 3 million damage. We got about just shy of a quarter of the second phase's health to chew through, and I was a little bit intimidated by that. I mean, we have half the turn count, so we should be okay, honestly. I was still thinking, oh, Meteor's coming, Meteor's gonna come and blow up Krile, because it happened that one time. Oh no, Meteor, because it did actually happen in one of my runs. I think that was because it got stacked up along with the force attack, though, so I think that was just on me. But that's why you'll see I end up being a little bit cautious with using a Warrior of Light Call when I probably don't need to, just because I'm so spooked by that attack. Overall, this is a good fight. Definitely challenging. I had a lot of trouble putting together good teams for it, even though I'm sure there are some other teams out there. People are using different things. Camelot, of course, works great here. Reno works really well here. Dudes who I don't really mess about with for one reason or another. But as you can see here, Krile works. Nice little thing is that Machina and Krile will be getting that bonus HP cap or whatever that they get from the meter being full, since we're out of FRs. Not much to report at this point, since the main thing is the enemy's going to be going into their FR again, and we kind of want to avoid that just purely because like I said, I'm very spooked by Meteor. Don't want it to mess it. Don't want to get hit by it if we could avoid it. So I'm really hoping we can kill him within the next couple turns, but on the off chance that we can't, because I'm a coward, and by that I mean I could play conservatively, we're using the Warrior of Light Call real quick, give ourselves some shield. Machina basically killed them. There we go, 200 damage apiece, that's nothing, and Yalf takes us home. There we have it. Whew. Man, I guess Krile still has it. I mean, keep in mind, very team-oriented here. It was all about the entire machine working together, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.